Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of rate of change. This is standard A.3B in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 19 of the 2022 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have the graph of a line, and the coordinates of both points indicated on the graph of a line are integers, so that helps us. We're not dealing with decimals. And so we need the rate of change of y with respect to x for this line. Okay, so with respect to, it's just another way of saying per. So we need the rate of change of y per x. So let's think of it as a ratio. You see this rate right here. It's similar to the term ratio, can mean the same thing in certain situations. So we're looking of the rate or the ratio of y to x, y per x. And then we're looking for the rate of change. Okay, so we're looking for the change in y over the change in x. I'm going to use the Greek letter delta, which is a triangle and represents change in math and science. So the change in y over the change in x. Hopefully you're thinking, well, that kind of sounds like what we do when we're looking for slope, rise over run. And if you're thinking that, you are correct. That's what we're looking for. The rate of change means find the slope. All right, and they've given us two different coordinates here, so they're both integers, so that's very helpful. So I've got -3 as my x, I've got 5 as my y right here. I've got 9 as my x, and then -5 as my y, right? So remember, when we're looking at the rate of change, it's y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Doesn't really matter which one. So let's make that x1, y1. Let's make that x2 and y2. All right, so my y2 is 5 minus y1 is -5. So 5 minus -5, it's going to end up, those signs will flip. Two negatives make a positive. Then I got my x sub 2 is -3 minus 9. So I got 5 plus 5 is 10. -3 minus 9 is 12, -12 there. So then I simply need to, let's see, write this underneath here. That's going to be 5 over -6 if I'm simplifying. Now, we do see that answer there as D. Even before we did any of this, I can already tell you that A and C are incorrect. And the reason I know is because my graph is moving down from left to right. When you go down, think of it like a thermometer. It's negative. A and C are both positive. That would mean I would need a line that would move up, which I don't have. Now, B and D are obviously the same, just flipped. So let's make sure we get the same answer if I were to flip the x1 and the x2, because I just randomly chose. What if that's my x2? That's my y2. What if this is my x1? What if this is my y1? Right, it doesn't hurt us to do it again. So I'm going to use the same formula, but I've now changed the values, and if it's constant rate of change, should give me the same answer. So my y sub 2 is -5, and then my y sub 1 is 5, so -5 minus 5. So you notice how I got 10 the first time, right? That's going to now give me -10. My x sub 2 is 9. X sub 1 is -3, so 9 minus -3. That's going to change signs. 9 plus 3 is 12. So you notice the difference here. I had 10 over -12 the first time. I had -10 over 12 the second time. Ultimately get you the exact same answer, right? This -5 over 6. Both of these end up as -5, 6. We move that out. And in case you're wondering, if it wasn't going to be negative, if both of these end up positive on one, they'd both end up negative on the other. So they would still end up as a positive. So this works any way you do it. Our answer here is going to be D.